and I'm like talking away and I'm not even so see, I'm not paying attention. So anybody contacting y'all through private message, direct message on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, asking to do a reading for you, and then you pay them through something other than my website, is a scammer. They will take your money and you will have to go and deal with your bank with that, because you come running to me like I thought this was you, and now I'm like, you didn't, it's not me. You didn't call your bank and you fell for that, and I posted enough about it. I'm sorry, but y'all have to pay attention. So pay attention, okay, guys? All right, that's the last I'm going to say about that. So going back, rolling it back here. All right, so for those of you who are new, you can post your questions in the comment section below. If you're asking me about your life, what specifically are you asking me? So be specific with your question. If you ask me a general question, you're not going to get your question answered. It's too general. So if you say, what do I see for you? Do I have a message for you? What do I see for your finances? What do I see for your relationship? It's too general. I'm not going to read your question. You need to be specific. Like, what exactly do you want to know? Do you want to know when you're going to get pregnant? Are you wanting to know if the relationship with a specific person is going to work out? Are you wanting to know if you're going to get married in the future? What is specifically are you wanting to know? So ask me a specific question, and I'll do my very best to give you as much information as I can. If you're asking about a loved one in spirit, who do you want me to connect with? I'll try to connect to that person and bring through anything that might help to affirm for you that they are with you. It will be much more effective to have an actual conversation, which is why I do the lives with the videos as well, because there's only so much I can say with just the one-sided response from like text from comment questions. So if you have a question that's in the comments, there's only so much I can go into with that. So if you really want more, we have to do a conversation. And so if you want to be on video with me, or if you want to come on and be part of the conversation, you have to be on Instagram. I'm working on it because I'm going to see if I can try to do it through also Facebook in the near future. But as of right now, it's just Instagram where I do the video connection. So if you want to do so, on right here on Instagram, there's a little button right there that's got a little like plus with the camera. If you click that, you can request to be a guest. Just telling me you want to be a guest is not enough. You need to request it, and that way that will let me know. So when I go in there looking at the list of all the people, I try to pick new people every single time. I try not to pick the same people, but I'll look in that list, and that's who I pick for video calls. So you need to like request it, okay? I think that's it. I think that's all I need to say. Anything you need to know about me, my work, what do I do? Availability, if you want to book an appointment, if you want to go purchase a service, or if you just want to get all the freebies that I put out there, which all the freebies are the free psychic development class, the articles, all of the videos on YouTube, a bunch of free stuff, the Dear Ferny's, all the advice columns, that's all on my website. You can go to my podcast, it's all free. Go to my website, fernandomarone.com, everything's on there. If you just private message me asking me questions, I don't do that. So again, which is why the scammers are like totally taking advantage of that, because people, it's easy for them to direct message you. I just don't do that. I have very set boundaries. Like my boundary with spirit is like, look guys, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna offer to do this for free for people each week, twice a week at this time. Outside of that time I'm not doing it, because I'm a human being. My brain would blow up. So I don't want my brain to blow up. I don't want to have a crazy looking brain. So that's why I do it at the set time every single week. Okay. All right. I think that's it. I think that's all I needed to say. So let's get started here. So I'm not going in any particular order. I'm just kind of bouncing around here. Jadine Martin. Hey, Ferny, I lost both of my parents. Is there any messages from them? Yeah, so the first thing they're acknowledging, thank you. What they're showing me something interesting. I'm seeing their pictures up, and then I'm seeing like a chain or something that ties them together. So I don't know if it's like a decoration that connects both of the pictures together, or if there's something that ties them together that's like up somewhere, because they're showing me something like this. So there's a reference to that. They're also thank you. They're also acknowledging. It's funny because I want to say fiesta. There's like a fiesta themed picture also, where there might have been a picture taken at like a restaurant that's like a Mexican inspired restaurant, or there's like a fiesta picture that has to do with like having a good time and so forth. So there's an image or a picture like that as well. So they're making reference to that as well. Mom is showing me the number 12. Yeah, the number 12. So the number 12 is significant. So the 12th of a month is significant, or the month of December is significant, because she's showing me 12. She also keeps acknowledging, thank you. There's a lot of animals there. I almost feel like I'm seeing 5 animals or 5 dogs. So I'm seeing a lot of animals. So she's acknowledging 5. She also keeps writing on my skin. So there might be an intent to get a tattoo, or there might be something going on where there's going to be art on the skin as well, because I'm seeing that also. Okay. Hi Myra, I do speak Spanish. It's not perfect, but I do speak Spanish, so I can carry a conversation. So for me, it's that part's the easy part. I can carry a conversation. I get confused with my words because it's Spanglish, just like Selena Spanish. So I do speak Spanish though. But when it comes to like readings, people ask like, do you do readings in Spanish? It's not easy, just because there are certain words and things that I just don't know how to pronounce, and they're technical words, so it's harder to communicate. So I have to communicate in a more general way in Spanish, just to communicate across some of those ideas. When it comes to mediumship, I always ask that someone have a person there with them who's interpreting stuff, because there are things that I have to say in a certain way, and if I try to change it or translate it and I'm wrong, it's gonna confuse the person, and this already can be a confusing situation altogether. So that's why I ask that when it comes to mediumship, that someone be there in case I need to say something that I'm not getting across very well. Flaca, is my relationship going to work out? I keep seeing a back and forth 2 or 3 separate times. So y'all may go back and forth 2 or 3 separate times, and then I feel like it's done. So I'm not thinking that it's going to work out. I'm kind of thinking that y'all go back and forth, and then around the 3rd time I'm thinking is when it's done. Okay. Lucy Barnard. Move forward with house purchase or keep looking? I don't know. That's your decision. I can't tell you what to do. I won't tell a person what to do. Unless I'm giving them advice as far as like fixing themselves. But as far as like moving forward with the house purchase, you have to decide what's best for you. However, what I see happening, or what I feel will happen, I don't feel like you'll end up moving forward with it, or the circumstances may change before you have a chance to go forward with it. So I'm thinking that y'all will not go forward with that property, and I'm thinking you'll end up waiting about 6 months and find something else that might be a better option or be a cheaper option. But it's your decision. It's up to you to decide whether you want to go with it or not. Yeah, Sonia, I had a scary dream with my mom who passed. Was she trying to tell me something? So sometimes when people have scary dreams of their loved ones in spirit, they misinterpret the meaning of it. And you have to understand that when we have dreams of our loved ones in spirit, a lot of our own junk is going to get in there. So if we have fears, worries, anxieties, it all gets thrown in there. And so there's a lot of symbolism in dreams. And if you get caught up in the immediate understanding of what you think it means, you're going to misinterpret it. You have to look a little deeper or decode it. I don't feel like it's a dream where your mom is trying to tell you about something bad. I think what it means is that your mom, thank you. I think it means a couple of things. One is, I think that she is trying to first of all, she's trying to let you know that you're too stressed out, and you're starting to kind of go into dangerous territory with your like nerves and your stress levels. So you need to be aware of that and be careful, because you might make yourself sick. And what I mean by sick is like having a breakdown. So be careful with that, because I feel like your mom is trying to like give you a heads up, like you need to calm down behind. So I think she's trying to first of all do that. The second thing I think she's trying to let you know about is that there might be a health condition or a health issue that comes up with a male family member in the next month. That might be a little bit tricky to kind of maneuver around. So you might just need to be prepared for that, because it almost feels like it may catch you off guard, and then y'all may have to deal with that drama. It does feel like it's a family member though, so I'm thinking it's like a male family member, maybe an older male family member. Okay, but I think she's just trying to give you a heads up. But I think that she's wanting you to stop stressing out. It's kind of hard because it's like a double message, right? Like she's telling you to stress out, stop stressing out, you're gonna make yourself sick, but then she's also telling you there's something coming that you need to be aware of. What is, just come to peace with whatever happens. There's not, there's only so much we can do in this world. And when we try to help other people or try to be there for other people, sometimes we can't, because it's no matter what we do, it's not going to change the situation. It's going to happen. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So I feel like your mom is trying to tell you more about that situation or those things, right? See, there's a spammer right there. This VDJ on Showboy says, Flocka, my energy is too high for today. If you don't mind me to consider you a reading, send a private message. See, I'm telling you, they're at it. They're at it. I really, Facebook needs to get their crap together, because this is becoming like ridiculous with these spammers or the con artists. Anan, will my wife be promoted in January 2022? She might have an opportunity to get promoted before January. So there might actually be a change in the situation with her job, where in November an opportunity may come up. And so I think that something may show up sooner than maybe January. So there might be an opportunity earlier than that. Melinda Rodriguez. Hi. Any messages for me from my mother? She's doing a couple of things. One is she's showing me a picture of This doesn't sound weird. I don't know if it's a picture of you wearing a crown and she's in the picture with you, or there's a picture of her with like a crown or something that reminds me of a crown on her head. That is it's a funny picture, or it's just like a funny memory or good memory. So she's acknowledging an image like this. She also keeps it funny because I keep thinking of going to the beach and fishing. So I don't know if your mom was a big fisher, or if y'all have memories of going to the beach and going fishing, because she's acknowledging like this. I'm seeing seafood, I'm seeing the beach, I'm seeing all of that. So there's a connection there because she's making reference to that. I smell food. I feel like I'm getting hungry. So I'm wondering if she was just a really good cook, and then she's talking about this whole theme there, but she's like making me hungry. So there's a reference there. She also keeps acknowledging that she didn't think that this was going to be as bad as it got to with her health, the condition, or if this was actually, or if this was going to affect her as much as it did, because she makes me feel as if she didn't. Again, it's almost like the idea of like when we don't always realize that something can get as bad as it's going to get, and then it starts to happen, and it's just like a loss of control, and that's the way she's making me feel. She also keeps acknowledging. It's interesting. She's lifting her arm up, and she's wanting to lift her arm up, and she's like, "Look, I can lift my arm all the way up, or I can put my arm over my head." I don't know what that means, but she's doing this whole thing. So there might either have been something that was going on with her circulation that had to do with her having to like lift her arms up in the air, or there's something about feeling a sensation and she's trying to acknowledge something about her arm going up in the air or having to be elevated, because there's a reference to that as well. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me because I don't know about about a health thing that affects that. But she's doing this, so she's wanting to lift my arm up in the air. She also is doing this, so there might be a necklace that's two pieces. So there may be like a two-piece necklace, or there's two necklaces that are the same that are connected to mom as well, because she's acknowledging something like that. Okay. Amy, hey love, just want to say thanks for what you do. You are the best. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Any messages from my mom or for my brother, or any messages for me from mom or my son? Okay, so I'm thinking you're asking about mom for the son or mom for the brother. So let me focus on mom. So let me just focus on mom because that's the one you're asking me about, right? For mom, yeah. With mom, with the brother. So I don't know if the brother's having a bit of a complicated situation with regards to a relationship or with legal documents that have to do with the current relationship or a prior relationship, but she's acknowledging some changes there that may not be easy, but are gonna and may take a little time, but are gonna be necessary. She also makes me feel that in order for there to be more, I guess, protection, or for there to be more financial stability, some of these changes may have to be made. So there's a reference to that. This is how she's wanting to describe it. She also makes me feel, thank you. She's also acknowledging, she's giving me a name, like a team male name, like Tommy or Thomas or Tony or Tomas. So there's a team name that she's trying to make reference to. Either that's the name of someone she's with, or that's the name of someone here she's wanting to, because she was on Facebook and I literally was in the middle of her reading, so she got chopped. She got cut off with her reading. So okay, hopefully she'll pop back in. Yeah, hopefully she'll pop back in. With the mom energy also. She also keeps thinking she is showing me, she's drawing on my skin. So there might be a tattoo connected to her as well, because she's making reference. Actually, there's 2 tattoos, but they may not be for the same person, but she's putting them together. So she's putting them together, and then she's almost acting as if they're together in heaven as well. So she's putting them together in this way, okay? Let's see, going over here, bouncing around here. Sarachi, hey Ferny, will Thiago stop acting distant to me? Hey Ferny, I feel like he's going to continue to be distant. I think there's 2 things with this. One is I feel like he's just not wanting to engage or not wanting to be as involved. But I also feel like his mental, he's got stuff going on in his head it's affecting him. So there's a combination of like, I got stuff going on in here, don't want to deal with this, and then also I just don't want to be involved, or I don't want to be as involved. So that's the way he makes me feel. So I don't feel like he's going to be less distant, and in fact I feel like he's going to be more distant. So be prepared for that, because it might come to a head in about 2 or 3 weeks. Okay. Caitlin. Me and my family have just moved to Brownsville, Texas. My husband works for SpaceX. Do you see our future being lasting and successful here? See any more children coming our way? There might be 2 more children actually. So I would say yes to the children part. So there might be 2 more. I don't see you staying in Texas. I feel like y'all are going to end up in Colorado. Okay, so either Colorado or Kansas. So it's one or the other. I'm not thinking it's Kansas. I think it's Colorado. So I want to say it's Colorado. But it might be like more of like, yeah, it's Colorado. So I'm going to say it's Colorado that y'all are going to end up moving to. It may be in about 2.5 years though. It may not be right away. Let that be a prediction about SpaceX, because they might be building or might be establishing a facility in Colorado that hasn't been announced yet. So be aware of that. Okay. Kelly, my nanny just passed 2 weeks ago. Has she anything to say to me? Yeah, a couple of things. One is she keeps, I don't know if you have like a window. I'm trying to figure out what I'm seeing. I was seeing a window, and then I was like, am I seeing curtains, or am I seeing like stained glass window? I don't know if you have like a stained glass window thing that's connected to her, or there's something about a window and like art on the window, if that makes any sense, because I'm almost feeling like I'm looking at art on a window. So there's a reference to that. She also keeps acknowledging the number 1, so I want to say that January or the 1st of a month might be significant. She also keeps acknowledging yellow flowers, like sunflowers or just yellow flowers, as being significant as well. She also keeps acknowledging a streaming thing over here stopping. Okay, it's back. Oh my god, I don't know what's going on there. It's like, what's happening with the streaming? Also, what was it? Sorry, going back to you, Kelly. This is the problem when running your own operation. Like, you have to like multitask, and that's not my area. she was acknowledging a box in the closet, and it reminds me of a shoebox. So I don't know if you have a shoebox of her things in the closet, or there's a special box connected to her that's in the closet, because she's acknowledging a box, and I feel like I'm thinking of a shoebox, but it's a box in the closet that's connected. Okay. Okay. So let me go over here. Svani Danielle. Hey Ferny, who was I in my past life? Any messages from my spirit guides? Past life. So there is one past life where you were a male, and I want to say that this was during World War I or World War II. It reminds me of the movie, what is the movie? Pearl Harbor. So I feel like there's a connection to Pearl Harbor with one of your past lives. It also feels like you would have been a male. I also feel like the loud exploding sounds might trigger you. So just FYI with that. It also feels like, what's your name in that lifetime? Can I get a name? I want to say that there's a name association to that lifetime, and the name sounds like Thad or Thaddeus. There's a name like Thad or Thaddeus. I want to say it's the first name, but you might have to look into the records. So if you look in the records, you might be able to find a name that's similar to like Thad or Thaddeus with the Pearl Harbor and like the people who passed away. But I'm seeing a name that reminds me of that. I don't know if it's a first name or a last name, but I'm going to lean towards it being a first name. Okay? Let's see. Vela tripping. Hey Ferny, what kind of past life did I have? And will I have an opportunity to be something big in life? Meaning able to financially support my family and repay my grandpa everything he's done for us. So stop tripping. You don't need to be anything big to be able to support or to help your family. I feel like when it comes to like be anything big, I feel like you're going to go and become famous or anything like that. However, I do think that you're going to go into a business with two other females that may even be connected to your family, and it's a business that has to do with aesthetics. So it has to do with either physical, facial, that kind of stuff. So there's a business like that you're going to get into. You might get into this in about 3 or 4 years from now. It also feels like you might be able to use like a grant or like a loan through a government program to be able to do this, because y'all are business owners, and also there's certain qualifications that you would qualify for. So it could do well, but the problem that I can see you running into is not dealing with your taxes properly. So even if you made good money, if you don't pay your taxes, or if you don't, manage that properly, it don't really matter, because you ain't gonna really be able to enjoy that money as much as you want, and then you'd be helping other people, but then you end up having to pay back a lot of money. And I know, because I had to go through this my very first year when I became a full-blown business. So just don't make the same mistake. But I feel like you go into a business in about let's say, what did I say, like 4 or 5 years? Yeah. So I want to say in a few years, you'll get into business, three women. And that will be a nice thing for you. As far as famous or, rich and famous, no, not going to happen. Mark, hi Ferny. Do you see anything in my future for me getting married to anyone? So first of all, don't rush to the aisle, because you want to know what you're getting yourself into, and I can see you trying to rush into something 1 or 2 times. So just be careful, be cautious. I don't want you to be rushing into anything. However, I am seeing an opportunity for marriage or for an engagement. I don't think this is right away. I want to say this is mid 2024. So this is like 3 years from now. So I want to say about 3 years. There might be a prior attempt, meaning that, again, like I said, you might try to rush into something. So you might attempt to get into something that's serious or like take something to the next level before it's ready and it's not. So you want to like make sure that you are 100% sure that the person you're with is interested in wanting to go into a serious relationship before you engage or try to get married. But I feel like mid 2024 is when I think you'll have that opportunity to settle down or get married. Okay. And you'll be involved before, you'll be in a relationship before then. It doesn't mean it's going to take you that long to like settle into something. It just means it's going to take that long to get married. Big difference, right? People, whenever I tell people when they're going to get married, they're like, oh my God, that's so long from now. I'm like, well, yeah, but you have to remember, like, you only have a year. So, it's like, how fast do you think this is possible? Because it ain't, I mean, most people ain't going to be married in the first year they get together with the person. Uh, Ketchup on my cactus. Ferny, Ferny is my grandma trying to tell me something. I feel her around me lately. There's a baby coming into the family, so I almost feel like she's trying to let you know there's about to be a pregnancy within the next few months. So be prepared for that, or that she's aware of the baby. Oh, let me pick somebody. Let's go with somebody. I need a. Let's go here. Hello.
Oh my gosh, hi.
Hi, sweetheart. How you doing? Look, you're not even on my team. I can't hear anything in my thing, so I'm not even using it. So there we go. All right. Hi, sweetheart. How you doing?
I'm doing really well. I'm surprised that I got picked.
Oh, everybody says that. I'm like, well, I try to pick new people every single time I do this. It's not like I'm trying to repeat the same people.
Wow. Hold
Yeah,
on now.
what?
Let me get
No,
settled.
you're fine. You're fine. What do you want to ask me about?
Um, well, I lost.
Digging down here. This one already stopped again. So what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Oh, okay. Here, let's try you again. Let me try you again. I'm gonna come back on and get you back on. All right,
I
you're
don't know
back.
what
Yay!
happened.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what is going on. I was like, at first I thought maybe it's just like Instagram or Facebook because Facebook has been dropping. It's already dropped 3 times. I'm like, what's up with that? But then like this started spinning over here, and I'm like, okay, what is going on here? So I just got off of my Wi-Fi because I'm like, let's just not do Wi-Fi and see if that's the issue here. So okay, so you wanted to connect with your grandpa, right?
Yes.
Got it. Now, are both your grandpas passed? Because there's another male with them that feels like a grandpa.
So, yes, both of my grandfathers are passed, but I was never close to the other one. I
That's
actually never
okay.
met the other one.
That's okay. I think he's just trying to let you know that he's around or that he's aware. He's aware of you.
I did lose my
So
father, though.
no, this is the grandpa. This is the one that you didn't meet. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
the grandfather that you didn't meet. Yeah. So he's and that grandpa. That's your dad's dad, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So they're together, but the other grandpa wanted to let you know that he knows of you. So he's just like kind of like announcing himself or making himself known. So he's there. I'm assuming your dad is there. He hasn't started talking to me yet. And then I got your other grandpa though. Your other grandpa. Your other grandfather did gosh. Do you know there was issues with stabilizing his blood pressure and there was some like a cardiac event with him?
Hmm.
Okay. Do you also know if he passed in the month of a birthday or a month of significance?
Um, he passed in June.
Do you know there's a birthday, either yours, the grandmother, or
My
his?
grandmother's birthday is in June.
Perfect. That's what he's acknowledging. So he's acknowledging that. He's apologizing about the timing, just because it would have already added on to the dates as well. So he's, I think, just wanting to acknowledge that. Your grandma's still alive?
She is.
Got it. That's just the reason why he's probably apologizing, it because of when he did it. So, or when he passed. He makes me feel like he couldn't keep this from happening because he's like, this just kind of happened. So that's how he's making me feel. But he says there was 2 warning periods or 2 prior events that might have been indicating there was going to be other issues in this area with his body. Do you know about that?
Yeah, I mean, he had been having some health issues
Okay.
for some time. So.
Okay. He also keeps acknowledging that there was, this is going to sound so weird. Do y'all have stickers that are connected to your grandpa?
Stickers.
Stickers. Yeah, it's the weirdest thing to say, stickers. So I'm seeing stickers. So I'm like, why am I seeing stickers? So, you know, whenever someone passes away, if their passing is connected to like breast cancer awareness or like this or that, do you know if there's stickers that are connected to your grandpa?
I don't know if a sticker.
Okay.
We didn't do stickers for him.
That's okay. Just remember that I said that. It sounds weird, but hopefully that will make sense when you figure that out. But he's showing me stickers or magnets, because what I'm seeing is I'm seeing stuff that you stick to the wall or stuff that sticks to like it's a magnet or a sticker, but it's something like that. So he's showing me something. You know, thank you. My sister is getting married next year. She's a magnet. So I was thinking of that, but I'm thinking of stickers on top of that. So there's something there that he's making reference to or acknowledging. He also keeps
we
making
sent invitations for something in the mail for people. I don't know.
Is it in sticker form or magnet form?
No, it was a postcard.
No. Is it? No, that's not it. No, this is something different. This is like either a sticker or a magnet. And just remember that I said that because again, it may not make sense right now, but I'll do that with you. He also keeps it, thank you. Is there a Joseph, Josephine, or Josh or Joseph or Josephine name connection to the family?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
It's not.
A Josh, Josephine, where's the electrician? Do you know of a male in the family who was an electrician or worked with electrical components?
No, I don't.
Where is this coming from? There's a story about someone building their house, and either they had a background in this, or there's an electrician, they were an electrician, or there's something about knowing how to do this. Do y'all know anything about that? Someone in the family that built their own house or was involved in the construction of their own home, and they knew?
Mm-mm. I mean, my grandfather's pretty savvy with things, but
No, that's not. No, this is like when I have like an expertise. Let me bounce over to your other grandfather because I want to make sure that the other one's not the one that's trying to give me this information. How much do you know about the other grandpa?
not a whole lot, to be honest.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to say. What I'm saying, it's not just stuff like I'm throwing out there. It's all going to go together because it's connected to one person. So there's the idea of the stickers or magnet thing. They're acknowledging and knowing electrical work or building a property or helping to construct a home. There's also a reference to this Joseph or Josephine or Josh or Joshi sounding name because there's a J-O-S sounding name to this. So there's a reference there. They're also acknowledging. There's even a story about someone who they were trying. It's weird because it's like when you get people to build a home, they don't have an expertise in everything that goes along with that, but they have an expertise in one area. They were in the they participated in helping to build a home. There was a funny story about them either shocking themselves or they did some mistake, and there was a joke about they had to redo something with the property. It's just a story that's connected to a person that's tied to all these bits. So all those bits go together in some way. So just assume Ferny, like, I don't know what he's talking about. Ferny's crazy, but I'm just going to say, okay, Ferny, like, it's someone. I'll figure it out later. But just assume it's someone. It all fits together. It's all going to go together. So when you figure that out, that all goes together. So that way I can assess, we can just, like, accept that, and then I can push that away. Okay. Let me try to get back to your grandpa, because I kind of want to stick to him. Going back to grandpa, cardiac event, right? Do you also know if 2 events prior to his cardiac event, if there was 2 either attempted procedures or visitations or having to get something kind of cleared up with the system before he actually passed?
What do you mean with the system?
In other words, like I go and get a test because I need to find out how serious this is, or I have to go and actually get this treated, but it's just not enough to do anything to change it, but it's enough to just get me to deal with this situation.
So he had a really severe urinary tract infection with kidney
Mm-hmm.
stones, and they had to put like this device that was connected to him, and it was going to be permanently there, like on his back,
Okay.
to help with his kidney stones right before he went to hospice. And he was in
Got it.
hospice for 10 days
Got it.
before
Okay.
he died.
Got it. And so that was the one event. Was there another event before that where there was something else where he had to go in for as well? And it was another.
He had fallen several times, and so he was hospitalized several times for falling. Before, whenever he was admitted for the UTI, it was actually because he had high blood pressure, like
Okay.
extreme high blood pressure, and they didn't even know about the UTI until he got there.
Got
It was like catatonic. He wasn't moving and wasn't talking.
Okay. He's also shown me a discoloration of the skin. Do you know if he was having some weird discoloration of his skin happening, especially around the legs?
Well, he didn't have proper circulation. I mean, whenever he passed, he wasn't the right color, but I
Okay.
think that's normal with people.
Okay, because and she was telling me something about gangrene or something like that. Do you know there was some weird discoloration stuff happening with his legs as well, or the discoloration of his legs was just getting way more intense?
I don't know specifically about
That's
that.
okay. Okay, I'll leave that with you. He also keeps acknowledging the name Johnson. Do you know there's a Johnson reference?
Yes.
Okay. He also keeps acknowledging the tie picture. Is there a favorite picture of him where he's wearing a tie, even though he may not have technically worn a tie very often, but it's one of the few where he's got a tie on?
There are some pictures with him wearing a tie.
Got it. Do you also know of a picture? Thank you. Do you also know of a picture of him? I don't know if he's next to a monkey or there's a zoo. Is there a zoo picture or a picture next to a chimpanzee or a monkey?
I don't know about a monkey.
Okay.
There's pictures of me and him at the zoo when I was a
Okay.
kid.
Got it. Perfect. So he's probably just go through them because there might be a picture next to the gorilla or next to like an image or a statue of a gorilla or a monkey, and it's like right next to the thing. So he's acknowledging that. He also keeps acknowledging. Thank you. He's doing this. Did someone just get engaged?
I got married last
Okay.
September.
Okay. Did this happen after his passing?
No, it was before, but he wouldn't have known about it because he's had Alzheimer's.
Ah, got it. He knows about your marriage. So that's probably his way of trying to affirm that or confirm that for you. So he's acknowledging that. He also said, he's saying congratulations. So he's owing you a congratulations. So just to let you know about that. He also keeps acknowledging, was he the one in the Navy or the military?
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Do you know if there's 2 flags connected to him as well?
2 flags.
Mm-hmm. You know how sometimes people in the military, they'll get the flag, but he showed me 2 flags.
Well, we did have the military honors at his service. There was an American flag that was presented to us,
Okay.
but more than
was there
one.
also a flag as well? And I would say it was like the branch of the military. So it'd be like either like a Marine or like a Navy. It's like he's showing me 2 flags.
He was in the Army Air Corps before it became the Air Force. Okay. He also was in this commemorative Air Force as well.
Do y'all have one of those other flags as well? Do you know if y'all have another? Because he's showing me the other flag because he's showing both of them. So there might be an additional flag tied to him that y'all may still have or may still be in somewhere. So he's acknowledging 2 flags.
I'll look out for one.
Yeah. So he's one. There's another one because he's acknowledging another one. He also keeps thank you. He also keeps acknowledging. He's kind of funny, and I feel like he would have been like he's just funny.
He was very funny.
Yeah, he's lighthearted because I feel like it's funny because he's funny, but he's also lighthearted, and I feel comfortable with him. I also feel safe with him. And it's almost like I can talk to him and I don't feel like I'm just talking to like a person that's older than me. I feel like I'm talking to a friend. So he's acknowledging this kind of relationship or this connection. He also keeps making reference, thank you. Do you remember those, like those little, like oh God, what is it? It's a little.
Harmonica?
Yeah, harmonica, yes. Yeah, do you know if there's something like a harmonica connected to Grandpa as well? Or
I
if he knew
mean,
how to play it?
I think I had one when I was a kid, and he could play it, but he wasn't very good.
Okay. Because he's showing me like trying to like teach or trying to like practice, but then it's like a joke to repeat the same 2 or 3 tones. So there's a memory there because he's acknowledging memory of playing with this harmonica. But it's almost like, again, like it almost sounds like the Phantom of the Opera thing. But it's like there's something to this that he's wanting to make reference to as well. Do you also know if he has a letter from the president at the time, or there's a Kennedy connection?
I mean, yeah, actually, that's super on point. He inducted John F. Kennedy into it was the Confederate Air Force. It is the Commemorative Air Force now, but
Perfect.
he inducted
Yeah.
him into the Hall of
Perfect. He's
Yeah.
good. He says he's good. So he says that he is with his buds. He says he's got his faculties. He says it all came back to him as soon as he left his body, and he says he did not realize as much time went by as it did. He also says he appreciates the relationship and the connection that y'all had. He also says he's tried to visit with you in a dream. He also says that he is fine. He doesn't want you to worry. He also says he's going to look out for you, and he's repeating the name of a child. Is there plans to name a child after him?
There wasn't plans to name a child after him. What
He's
is
repeating
there a
it.
name that he's repeating?
It's the middle name. It's not the first name.
Okay. Um,
It's weird
well,
because
I
it's
mean,
almost like when people have the name of a father and like, oh, I like it's almost, so I have a friend who named her son. The first name is the the husband's grandfather, and then the other name is like the other relative. So there's 2 males' names in one that makes the name of the child. So do you know about something like that?
no, but I mean, I named my daughter after my grandmother.
Okay. There's another baby that's gonna have 2 males' names that are 2 people who passed, because that's where I want to put it together. So there's the reference or the acknowledgement there. I love you. He just says I love you. He says I love you. He's good. He's good. He's with you, sweetheart. Okay.
Okay.
Whatever you didn't understand, go back over, write it down, ask the family, because I'm telling you, there's more there that you may not fully understand in the moment.
Okay, I will.
Okay.
Thank you
All right.
so much.
You're welcome, sweetheart. You take care of yourself.
All right, you too.
Okay. All right. So going over here. Let's go here. It's like, what's going on my lip? Hello.
Hello.
Hi, sweetheart. How you doing?
Sorry.
All right. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Yes. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I can hear you now. No, you're fine. You're fine. What do you want to ask me about?
I wanted to ask you about my mother-in-law. I have 2 mother-in-laws. So my mother-in-law is married to a woman, and her wife passed away in December. And so recently we moved into her house to kind of help take care of the house and her and whatever she needs. Um, and I'm always curious what my mother-in-law in spirit thinks about that. Because she did everything around the house. So I always feel like,
Yeah.
what would she do in this
The
situation?
upkeep. The upkeep.
Right.
Yeah. She gives me a thumbs up for making changes with that arrangement.
Okay.
So there's going to be an opportunity or a time will come where you may need to make changes, or y'all may need to make changes to that arrangement, just because it may not stay. Things are going to stay. Things are not going to stay the same. But this may not be right away. However, okay. They don't usually predict things. I'm the predictor. They're the ones that just give me information about like the connection. But what she's telling me is this feeling of like by the end of next year, y'all make those decisions. So just to be prepared for it. And there's also going to be 3 moves in a very short period of time. She also keeps acknowledging that. Do you know they were planning on remodeling or completely gutting out the bathroom?
Yes.
She's like, do it before you sell it.
Okay.
because if not, it will bring down your value significantly because there's some issues
Okay.
there that she didn't realize were as bad as they were.
Okay.
Okay. She also makes me feel, thank you. Is there a black and white dog or a black and white patch dog that's also in spirit?
It'd be more brown and white.
It reminds me of Snoopy. I keep thinking of Snoopy. Like it's black and white.
Well,
So
she
is it?
loved Snoopy.
Oh, okay. So do you know if she ever actually had a dog named Snoopy?
I don't, but I'll
Okay.
find out.
There's a Snoopy connection. I feel like she's talking about a dog in spirit, and I'm thinking of Snoopy. So it's either black and white or it's Snoopy. It's the name Snoopy. But she's acknowledging
Okay.
that. Speaking of that, do y'all have an old grandfather clock that doesn't work anymore?
I don't know.
Okay. At their house?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Not that I know of.
That's okay. You might have to. Could they sometimes be? I wouldn't say hoarders, but they collect stuff and then not always like realize that they're collecting more than they should.
Yes.
Okay, so there's a grandfather clock or a clock on the property that may be worth more than y'all realize, or may actually be pretty expensive. So she's like wanting to like point that out. She drops coins around, so y'all will find coins in the most random of places. That's coming from her. She also I'm smelling smoke. Was she a smoker?
In the past, yes, but she gave it up.
Okay, if y'all she picked it back up. So if y'all ever smell random smoke and no one's smoking, it's her. She says she likes to come around with that scent. She also says she spends quite a bit of time in the kitchen. So there might be a lot more activity in the kitchen. That's her. She also keeps, thank you. Is your other stuff or becoming more forgetful?
Not more than like normal, no.
Okay. First of all, it's not like Alzheimer's or anything like that, but your other mother-in-law is saying that she has like ADD or ADHD, and sometimes she forgets or she doesn't realize what she's done, or she can get confused in what she's doing. So she might get a little scatterbrained. To be aware of this, because sometimes you have to follow her around, or you may have to go and follow and make sure that something got done, because she just forgets stuff. So she's just acknowledging that. She also, thank you. Don't get rid of her chair. Okay. Does she have a special chair?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. She's like, don't get rid of my chair. So y'all can do whatever y'all want. I'm gonna tell y'all can do whatever you want. But she's like, don't get rid of my chair. So she's just acknowledging that as well. If y'all ever take a picture near the chair and stuff is in the picture, that's her.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, my dear. You take care of yourself.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, darling. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, so going here. Hello. Hi.
Hi, Ferny.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Awesome, awesome. What do you want to ask me about?
Yes, I just want to know if you had messages from my stepdad.
Mm-hmm. Did he have cancer?
No, sir.
Okay. I've got a male coming forward who had cancer. He keeps acknowledging that it started off, it might have started off near his back or around the back and then spread into his bones, or it started off one way and it spread to the bones. So there's a male who I want to acknowledge who had cancer that started in one area and then spread or affected the bone or the skeletal system. They may have even thought about doing some sort of extraction with like the bone marrow, but it was just going to be really like it was going to be a lot. And I think that they kind of just decided not to go forward or just to not continue treatment. Do you know of a male who's passed older who went through something like that?
I had an uncle that passed away maybe almost 2 years ago.
Did he have cancer?
It'll be 2 years. No.
No. This is a male who had cancer. So he's acknowledging, he's acknowledging that this male is acknowledging he had cancer. It started off in one area, and then it got into his skeletal system or went into his bones. He also keeps Is there a Jamie in the family, or do you know a connection to Jamie?
Jamie,
Mm-hmm.
no.
Okay. There's a connection to a Jamie or a
Yes, I
J-A.
do know a Jamie. Yeah, I know
Okay.
a Jamie.
Who is Jamie to you?
He's a cousin,
Okay.
like
Do
a
you
relative.
do, do you know if he has a father or a grandfather who passed away from cancer?
No,
Okay. You need to.
not that I know of.
That's okay. When you have a chance, I want you to ask your cousin Jamie about a male above him, so older than him, passed from cancer. It started in one area. It went into a skeletal system. They wanted to do a bone marrow transplant or try something. They decided not to go forward with it. And so they ended up just ending the treatment, and they ended up passing away not too long after that. It's either a father figure to him or a father-in-law figure to him, but there's a male in spirit that's connected to the Jamie. So when you get a chance to
Okay.
ask him, and hopefully he can tell you who this is. They just
Okay.
want to say hi to pass the message on to the person so that they know that they're okay. Okay, so
Mm.
pushing them out of the way. Who were you asking me about again? Because I want to go back to who you were asking me about.
My stepdad.
Got it. Your stepfather. He's twisting my mouth. Do you know if he was having difficulty with his nerves or his nervous system was giving him some trouble?
Yes.
Okay. Do you also know if he was having some clotting issues on top of that?
Yes, I
Do
believe
you
so.
also know there was fluid building up in his legs or there was issues with his legs?
Yes, he had
Okay.
one of his toes or feet amputated before he passed.
Got it. Okay. So thank you. He just said happy birthday. Are we within 30 days today?
My sister's birthday is coming
Okay.
up.
Wish her happy birthday. He also is acknowledging the two attempted memorials. Did y'all have to attempt a memorial for him twice?
No, we
Like there
haven't.
was an original plan or original that was supposed to take place, and then y'all had to move the date, or y'all couldn't do the first one, so y'all had to change it?
No, we haven't never tried to do a memorial for him. I don't know if someone in his family has or not.
Did he have a memorial?
A funeral, like a
Yeah, a funeral. Did he have a funeral?
yes, sir.
Okay.
He had a funeral.
Did y'all try to do it twice, or did y'all have to change those plans because y'all couldn't stick to the original location?
No, I don't think so. He had
Okay.
his original funeral as planned.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna say. You might need to talk to your sister or ask her because what he said to me is that there's something about how he was buried or the memorial. So either the location of his burial, there had to be a change, or there was a memorial attempt, and then there was having to have to be a sign acknowledging too. So he's making
Yeah,
reference to
he
that.
had planned his funeral. I don't know if they went through a date change or not.
That's okay. I'll leave that with you. You can check with your sister. He's repeating his name as well, but he's pointing upwards. Was he named after someone in his family?
I'm not sure.
Okay, he's pointing to up, pointing up, and he's showing me a name duplicate. So he's talking about himself being named after someone in his family. So he's acknowledging that. He also is, thank you. He's also talking, what is he? Do you know there's connections to the family in Mississippi or Florida?
No, not that
Okay,
I
he's
know
showing
of.
me that area, and he's talking about connections to the family. Have y'all been doing any family history or doing any family research?
No, not really. But he's my stepdad. He raised my sister and I from when we were very young. So he's not a biological dad, but he's someone that we knew as our father.
Okay,
So his
is
family and
your is
I
your
kind
is
of
your is your father still alive? Your biological father still alive? Do you know of your biological
yes,
father? Okay,
yes.
there's something more to all of this because I feel like he's trying to give me specifics and I'm not catching all of it. There's something about him being named after. There's like mysteries around his like upbringing or when he was growing up because he's showing me like the question mark of mysteries. So if you're not doing family research, there's got to be something about his situation growing up that is a mystery in the family. He's pointing to the area around Florida or Mississippi. He's also acknowledging his name being duplicate to someone who is older than him. And it might even be an exact copy. Like, for example, my name is Fernando Marone. My great-great-grandfather is Fernando Marone. So there's another one in the family. It's the only one in the family. And so he's acknowledging something about his upbringing and a mystery. If you ask your mom, she might have an idea what he's talking about because it might have been a mystery that they even wondered about. But it's almost like he knows now, or he's figured this out now, because he's almost like wanting to say, I know about this now. There's a reference there. He's also acknowledging 2 children as well. Are there 2 children that were miscarried, lost, or terminated?
Not that I know of.
Okay, there are 2 children with him in spirit. So there are 2 children that were miscarried, lost, or terminated, either by you, your sister, or your mom. But he's acknowledging 2 children with them. He also keeps it. Thank you. He also keeps acknowledging a chain that is connected to him.
No.
He's acknowledging a necklace.
Will...
It's like a necklace, or it's a metal thing that goes around the neck that's connected to him. Do you have a necklace that's connected to him, or is there a necklace that's connected to him?
No, I don't have anything connected to him, actually. He had a briefcase that he carried around and loved, but that disappeared. So.
Okay, that's okay. He's showing me a metal necklace, or a metal... Okay. He's acknowledging the silver necklace, so he's making reference to that. Y'all may still have it, or your mom may still have it, but he's just acknowledging this necklace. He's also acknowledging a watch. Do y'all know of his watch?
He wore watches.
Okay.
I don't have anything of his in our possession.
That's okay. He's acknowledging a watch that was handed down to him by someone the watch was actually worth quite a bit of money and might have been gifted to him or passed down to him. So he's acknowledging this watch. So even though he had watches, there's one that was worth a lot more. So again, you might have to follow it up with your sister or your mom to confirm this. He also keeps acknowledging that he is the one that caused the power to go out, and it was just in the house. Did y'all have the power just in y'all's house go out randomly?
Yeah, my sisters went out not too long ago.
Okay, because it's not like the whole block. It's like just the house or just that location, because he's acknowledging that was him getting the power to go out. He also keeps thinking, is there a Vincent or a Victor or a V male name connection also to the family?
He has a niece named Victoria.
No, this is a male. This is like a Victor or a Vincent.
Victor, Vincent.
Vince, Vance, Victor. There's a V male name connected.
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. There's a male with him who's got a Vince, Vance, or Victor sounding name that's with him in spirit. This is either a family member on his level or a friend of his that's also passed that's with him in spirit, because he's acknowledging that. He also keeps acknowledging he's holding another baby, but it feels like this is coming. Do y'all know of another baby coming into the family or a pregnancy?
No, not really.
Be aware, there's another baby coming into the family. So if you don't have any plans for one, you might be surprised, because he's acknowledging a baby coming. This is within the year. This is not like next year or 5 years from now. This is like this year. So he's acknowledging another baby popping into the family or being made known to the family within the year. So he's acknowledging that as well.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, he's okay. He's with y'all, but you need to ask. You're gonna have to ask your sister or your mom about some of these details, because there's a weird mystery around his upbringing and what he had thought or what he didn't know about his own upbringing, and he might have talked to her about this. So if you talk to her about it, she might explain some of these details to you.
Okay.
Okay. All right, my friend. You take care of yourself.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. So sometimes, guys, whenever I'm connecting to people and they're not clicking or they're not catching what I'm saying, even though it doesn't make me look good on camera, it doesn't matter to me, because I know what I'm getting, and I'm not going to just change my answer just to kind of feel like I sound right or whatever. I'm going to stick to what I'm getting. So I have to stick to what I'm getting, and I have to dig in deeper, because I know that it's there, because I've seen it often enough when I do readings like this. So whenever I do a reading for someone and they are like, I have no idea what he's talking about, it makes no sense to me. It doesn't matter to me. I'm like, no, I'm going to stick to it, because I know what I'm getting and I know what I'm seeing, and I got to stick to it so that way I can get all these details and information out. This is with the other lady, or the other female, where she wasn't connecting with some of the pieces with her grandpa, but I know what he was telling me. And then he brought up the detail about JFK, and that was super specific. So that's why I tell people, like, it doesn't matter whether people are going to agree with me or not. I got to stick to what I'm getting, because it's like I know what I'm seeing. So that's why I always tell people, go and follow up with your family. Ask them; they will confirm this. I don't need the affirmation on camera. You need the affirmation to know that they're with you. So, all right, guys, I love you all. I am out of time, so I'm going to be back in about a minute or so, because we're doing our study group time. Okay.